We're back with another episode of Hijabae in the City. I'm Sarah Hildebrand.
And I'm Hannah Ismail. Welcome to our tea party. In this episode of Hijabae in the City, we will be talking about hijab in, hijab out. Very interesting, and the reason why we are bringing this topic out is because I think of late there's been a few controversies, especially among a few celebrities that decided to take off their hijab, and people have been in a row. People have been fighting over whether the decision is right or wrong, and also in that light, also we've seen that women, especially among Muslimah, starting to don the hijab, and people tend to question whether they're doing it for the right reason or for the wrong reasons.
Is it a trend or is it for personal?
Yes, so this is why we are going to discuss about this hijab and hijab out. Mind sharing to us, when do you first decided to wear the hijab in the first place, Sarah?
I started wearing the hijab in 2015, and it was a personal choice. It wasn't because everyone was wearing it, but I just felt like I needed it. I felt like I've already been through a lot, and I didn't feel so good about myself, and I needed something to remind myself that I need to, give back to Allah.
Okay.
How about you?
I started wearing the hijab when I was small, even before I hit my puberty. I think it was very routine for me, to go to school and wearing the hijab. And then when I reach the puberty, I know that I can no longer take it off, Kira period je tak boleh buka tudung tau. Okay? And then, but once in a while, I have my naughty days, even though I went to agama school, if I went out from the school, kalau I tak pergi sekolah tu, and once in a while, I would take it off, and I just feel like I want to free my hair for a while, and I just don't want it to put in the circle all the time, Sometimes I just feel like, let it free, let it play with the air, let it feel the breeze of the wind. In a way, you can say that I don't give it much of a thought. And in a way, for those yang pergi sekolah agama, they have this knowledge of, memang pakai tudung and you jaga ikhtilat and whatnot. But there's this one time when I went to the university, I was involved in musical theatre. You can say I was the lead cast in the theatre musical, where I was required to take off my hijab. That is one thing. And then secondly, basically I had to in the scene, I have to hold hands with my masa tu boyfriend lah, dalam musical theatre tu. So yes, it involved no ihtilat at all, no hijab at all. And I don't know, I think I do it out of my free will, because I really like being involved in the benda-benda seni kan. I'm always interested in art and whatnot. I'm very passionate about it. So I cakap, okay lah, I'm just giving myself a go for this, and I really, this is my one time thing. It's not going to happen again. Maybe I rasa lepas tu tak ada dah dapat kesempatan tu. So I did it anyway, and I think I did it well. And my family, even though kalau macam my family, it's a no-no for my family, but they are very supportive, and they are very proud of my achievement at that time, and they were there during my play. Even my uncles and my aunties and my best friends, they were there. So they weren't judgy, they weren't judgy, although they cakap okay, because they know it's just a play, because I will put it on after the show is over. I don't get harsh criticism from people, and I have a circle of friends who are very supportive, who came to support my play, and alhamdulillah, it was a blessing for me, and I learned a lot.
That's good.
So what I'm trying to say is, there is a point once in a while you will feel like you want to take off the hijab.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I feel like taking it off not all the time, but a lot of the time. I do feel like I just want to go out and be like, hey, my hair.
It's not like when trying to show off or anything. It's just we have our desires as well. I guess that is my test.
Yeah, it's a test.
I guess that is my test for me to like, you know what, Hannah, you have to know your purpose of wearing this hijab, the reason why you're wearing this hijab. So yeah, just be strong. There will come the temptations of you wanting to take it off, wanting to show off your beautiful hair, your beautifully moisturized hair. You just like you even curled it and you blow it, and I want to show it to people. But I guess that's your test. I guess just go easy on this.
It's not the end of the world if someone doesn't wear a hijab. It doesn't make them an evil person. Like they're not, if they're not a psychopath, they're not going to go out and kill people. I'm pretty sure there are plenty of stories about women who maybe don't wear the hijab, maybe don't cover up properly, but they have so many good deeds that Allah just accepts them for that. And I'm not saying don't wear the hijab, but don't like judge people based on whether they're wearing the hijab or if they take it off or if they're not wearing it. Like just don't judge people.
Yeah, and I wish people would be as strict when they put emphasis on others when it comes to other things that Islam demanded us to do, like the salah and the zakat and the puasa.
I know a lot of guys who don't go to Salat Jumaat. I know a lot of guys who don't fast. So isn't that the same thing? But we're not like telling you guys, you gotta, what are you doing?
Yes, and we're not telling those wearing short pants, I know a lot of guys wearing like hot pants as well, okay? Is that hot pants?
Yeah,
right? Hot pants,
because it's supposed to be under the knee, right? But okay, so that's the thing. Like, we don't judge, and we want other people to not judge other people. Just let other people live their lives, and if you want the best for them, pray for them.
I was just about to say the same thing, because there's this one alim who also said that nowadays in this day and age, the best way to do your da'wah is to be the best version of yourself, and when you see something that you do not like, you pray for that person.
Yeah, set a good example and then just pray for the person. Don't judge them. Treat them equally, treat them nicely. You don't have to tell them that they're this and that and whatever. Make them feel down about themselves. Sometimes I feel like maybe your niyat is there to, you want to do good. You want to remind people as, a fellow sister, fellow brother. But at the same time, there are ways that you could do it. I know people, they do it kind of harshly, and that's not a very good way. And you might be causing yourself to be sinning. You never know. So there's a fine line. So I think the best way is just to, mind your own business and just kind of pray for that person. And also bear in mind that just keep in mind everybody has their own journey and their own process.
And
inshallah, they will, their own tests. And inshallah, they, they'll istiqamah and they'll cover up properly. Okay, and speaking of reminding each other to wear the hijab or not, or what's correct and what's not. What about now we see a vast majority of people wearing hijab, turbans, all kinds of styles. So is this just about fashion? Is it about hijab being a trend, or are people really doing it for their personal benefit?
I think it's best for us not to question whatever the purpose of the people. I mean, because even we ourselves, we find it hard to convince ourselves whether we are doing it for a better purpose or not. So might as well we celebrate the diversity and what the good can this hijab fashion bring to our deen,
right?
Rather than we demonizing or being judgy about this whole industry, because we're not helping our fellow Muslims as well to be better person themselves.
I mean, okay, for example, there's a lot of hijabi fashionistas out there, especially on Instagram. So when you see a lot of them are wearing turbans and stuff, and they always get comments about how oh, that's not right, sister, you should be covering up, whatever. But isn't it great that a lot more people are starting to wear the hijab, whether it be the right way or not? And then the fact that the whole world knows more about Islam now, I think we should be celebrating, like you said, and accepting it.
We should see just the good side of it. See the good side of it. Just as much as you perhaps when you started to salat, maybe the first thing that you do is because you're afraid that you will get scolded by your parents.
But it's still one step towards
better. You know what they say? Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, and if you have to fake it, by all means do it until you make it.
Yes, until you be the best version of yourself.
And I feel like everyone should just encourage everybody instead of
instead of questioning whether this is right or wrong, are we doing this right? Just ask yourself. That is actually the state of your heart. When you start questioning, maybe there's like a bad side to it. You should actually be questioning your heart. Why do you see glass always half empty instead of seeing it half full?
That's a good point. Because at least they're doing something, right? At least, to the very least, even if they're not like properly wearing it, at least they're doing something of some sort instead of not doing anything at all. And sometimes when you see people like saying bad things about people not wearing it properly or the way they comment, other people from other religions, when they see that, that's not a good image for us.
Yeah.
And it's sad because we want people, because Islam's supposed to be a religion that's like
of
peace
tolerance and
tolerance,
peace.
Yeah. And easy. Everything's easy in Islam.
Yeah. So the next time you decide to comment on things that you do not like and you want to start put harsh comments on it, think if whether you are, as an ambassador of Islam, if you are portraying the best version of Islam.
Yeah, and the best version of
because
yourself.
You might not realize you are pushing people away from the deen.
Yeah, you never know.
Yes. Okay, while we acknowledge that more and more people are donning the hijab and it's becoming a huge fashion industry, and but at the same time we have to go back and ask ourselves, why are we wearing hijab? We have to know the reason and the purpose, the right purpose of why we are wearing the hijab. And it's gonna be, we have to constantly remind ourselves, because I know there's an alim said wearing the hijab is actually a sign of you surrendering to your God. You surrender whatever that may appeal you to the dunya and the world. You are putting it away and you are pushing yourself towards God. That is what hijab is all about. So we have to always remind ourselves. As much as I like makeups, again I have to remind myself that this is me surrendering to my God, surrendering to Allah. It's not me trying to sell an image of a goody ke tidak,
Yeah, like sometimes I'm pretty sure there are people out there who do take advantage of the whole hijab trend and everything, but yes, we do, as being born Muslim, we do need to really take the time to realize what exactly the meaning of hijab is and not misusing it.
Yes, and I hope that at the end of the day our journey will end well. It doesn't it doesn't matter how you start, it's how you end it.
Yes, definitely.
So all the best to all the hijabis out there, and let's pray for each other. Let's pray that we become the better version of ourselves, the better Muslims in ourselves. And we'll see you guys in our next show. Assalamualaikum.